What's up, everyone? Welcome to the newest episode of Dad's Turn to Talk. I am Josh. I will be your moderator this week. Don't forget to please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And we also timestamp the episode. So if there's a certain subject you want to get right into, go for it. Tonight, I am joined. We have actually a special guest. Ladies first, Lily from 300 Mirrors and Dames and Dorks podcast as well is here with us. Lily, how are you today?
I am so excited. I'm always so happy to be here with you guys.
We
love having you.
Yes, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk Penguin with you guys. This is gonna be so good.
That's awesome.
I'm super excited.
Awesome. And we have a little surprise to let you guys know a little later on about next week. Just, keep that in mind. And our next person is sitting in the dark, but is still seeable with his 49ers t-shirt. Derico, how you doing, my man?
Decided to camp out tonight.
This makes me feel the whole hostage thing. Makes
I haven't been waterboarded yet. That's the good news. But night is young. But I have good news for you. The Coke Zero still tastes the same in the dark.
Oh, that's good.
There you go.
Oh,
that's good. That's good. I actually told Derek earlier, Bob, I did the Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar yesterday. Really liked it.
That's not bad.
Today. It was good. It was good.
We still need to do that ranking of those.
We just talked about it today.
Oh,
Derek and I just talked about it. We need to do it. We need to do it. It'll allow me to buy all the good drinks, and my wife can't tell me I can't because it's for the podcast. Right?
Where you have to hide.
I'm a Dr. Pepper girl, the diet Dr. Pepper. That's my thing.
Oh, really? I love regular.
That's not bad either.
And Diet Coke has to be ice cold, and then it's really good too. Probably.
I can't do Diet
really?
Coke.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
the aftertaste just.
Hey, it's not worse than Diet Pepsi, man. Jeez.
Diet Pepsi.
That is
it's probably the worst. Yeah, that one's the worst.
I don't care if it's Diet Pepsi or Pepsi Zero. Both of them are awful.
They've left on the Pepsi Zero. What about cherry Pepsi Zero? Not good?
I don't think any of those Pepsis are.
I think the cherry Pepsi's probably decent too. I think I've gotten that one before. That's pretty good. Tastes better than the Pepsi itself.
Interesting. Okay, cool. All right. And then our final participant tonight is really a man that needs no introduction, but we'll give him one anyway. Avo, how are you doing, my friend?
Well, I was doing good until we got into tonight's show because I already know it's coming. So, but doing good. I can't complain. Wouldn't do any good if I did. So let's have some fun.
Awesome. All right, gang, let's get started.
But Josh, how are you tonight?
Oh, well, thank you, Lily. That is really let me tell you, I had a wonderful week. A lot of things happened, this week. We'll get to it a little bit later. So I am doing great and very excited to be with you guys.
Incredibly
guys, that's how nice she is. You see, you never ask me how I'm doing.
Geez, Lily, you're making us look bad over here. When it comes to niceties with Josh, that left us a long time ago. So at least
that left us a long time. Oh, all right. Well, thank you for that. All right, Baba, let's hit it. Wow. Dear Lord, the finale. I was going to ask you, was it season finale? Was it so we really don't know.
I put season finale because there's talk going around that Matt Reeves and the group are talking about a possible season 2. So I put season finale just in the off chance we get another season of this, because they are saying that, or Colin Farrell's saying that he's got like 5 or 6 scenes in the next Batman movie. So I think it'd be cool to expand on the character a little bit between the second and third film. So
yeah.
Yep.
And I believe Colin Farrell did say that he was down to come back for season 2 if he liked the script as well. So everybody's kind of open to it. So hopefully they make it happen.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we saw the finale. We all watched it. Good Lord, was it good? That series was just phenomenal. I will give, some of my takes a little bit later, but let's go ahead and talk
Hold on, we need our spoiler warning.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, yes.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
It's funny. You have to say, about the timestamp in this, and I always forget the spoiler warning. Always forget that. All right, so why don't we go ahead and let's start with ladies first. Lily, what did you think of the finale? What did you think of the show in general? Give us your thoughts.
Oh my gosh, that was such a good, not only like finale, just the entire season. I cannot believe that they knocked that out of the park so well. Like just from start to finish. I don't even think there was one episode that I could tell you like, oh, this was a filler episode. Like you don't really need to watch this or whatever. Like all of the episodes mattered. And then when they get to the end where everything just like finally comes to a boil and it like boiled over, like it's so crazy. And I guess we can talk spoilers now. Like
Yeah.
I'm still not over the fact that he killed Vic. Oh my gosh. Like I knew
You suck.
I had this feeling that it wasn't gonna end so happily for him. And when I saw that he was like, getting a little too like started struggling and stuff, I was like, no, please don't. And yeah, that was so devastating. I'm still not over it. I'm still not
The way he killed him too. I mean, like he puts his
Right.
arm around him, like
yeah,
it's
that's
almost
why.
like, hey, buddy.
That's
We've been through
why.
it all together.
And yeah,
He
and
couldn't just wait while he was looking at the water and just ice him? Like, you had to
No.
choke him out? Jeez.
It was a slow death.
Yeah.
because that's a more personal kind of
Yeah.
death, I
Yeah.
guess. He cared
Yep.
about him too much, which is
More
actually really weird, because you would figure if you really love somebody and you have to like, murder them, I guess you'd want it to be over quickly, but oh man, that was just so bad. And then how he kept telling him like, you're a good man, and I'm like, no, then why are you killing him? What are you doing?
Mm.
But yeah, no, everything start to finish is just 10 out of 10. I loved this series so much.
And it shouldn't shock us that he killed him that way because earlier in the episode when they're not interrogating him, they're watching they're making him watch them torture his mother with the cigar cutter.
Yep.
And they got her finger in there, and he was willing to let them cut her finger off just to not tell the truth. I mean, I guess it shouldn't shock us what he did to Vic because, like you said, he likes Vic. I mean, he likes his own mother too, but he was willing to let him chop her finger off.
No, that's true.
Yeah, it was just, it was crazy. Okay, go ahead, Derico. What did you think?
Okay, so we all have episodes of TV that we consider epic. I'm sure we all have a handful of them. I've got a handful of Breaking Bad episodes, Better Call Saul episodes, Sopranos episodes. I think the season 3 finale of Stranger Things is a work of art. But I got to tell you, this one may be right up there in the top 5 ever for me. And it's not just this episode that was absolutely magnificent. There's probably a few episodes that could be put into my greatest of all time, but this was just magnificence on a level and a half that I was anticipating like it was going to be great, but then you actually see it and it's a whole other ball game. There's so many scenes I loved about this episode when she lights all 3 cigarettes and puts them out.
Oh yeah,
that was genius.
Sophia's great.
Yeah, she's incredible. When Oz drives her one last time down to
that was great.
That was
such a great
tremendous.
scene.
It's like old times, huh?
She tried to open the door to get out.
There was the courtroom scene, which I also thought was genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really, actually, if you think about it, almost every scene in it is great, with the exception of Vic getting offed. That was the one. I mean, I knew it was coming. You knew it wasn't going to end good for that kid. But
no, I thought Sophia was killing him, or somebody else but him.
you don't really?
I didn't think Penguin would have killed him. I really
Yeah.
didn't. I thought somebody else would have killed him.
I thought once we saw it almost happen in episode 1, I'm like, this isn't going to end well for him, and I think Oz is going to do it. And I didn't think he was going to do it that way. That was awful. But it validates everything that we said. We knew this wasn't going to end good with him. He's a bad guy. I don't care how much of a protest he was supposed to be. He's awful. And they showed it in all the wonderful colors that you can get in a show. So I was absolutely thrilled. If Matt Reeves needs me to write him a love letter for a season 2, I would do it. Gladly do it. There's not much more I can say other than, pitch perfect. I can't say anything else about it other than that.
Okay. Baba, what'd you think?
It's freaking awesome. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Just from start to finish, the episode was great. And then the series as a whole from start to finish was freaking fantastic. I loved every moment of this thing. The finale itself, there are a lot of good performances. I like the little twist that the mother knew the whole time that Oz had killed his brothers. And yet she kind of let Oz just kind of keep doing his thing. And you see him keep trying to please her. And I was talking with somebody earlier yesterday. And the thing is that Oz, you see him saying, well, Mom, I'm doing this for you. I'm going to get this for you. I'm going to do all this for you. Reality is he's doing it for himself.
Yeah.
It's all for himself. And the reason I say it's for himself, he was willing to, like I said, to let his mom get tortured, not to turn around and tell the truth, even though she knew. And then she says, I know, tell me. Mom, that's your disease. That's your dementia kicking in. I don't know what you're talking about. And he's still willing to let it happen. And so I think it's great seeing his motivation that he's in this thing for himself. He wants to advance. He wants to become better. He's, he talked in that first episode about that gangster that ended up dying and getting in that parade. And that's what he wanted. He wants to be respected by everybody. He wants to be a man of the people. And towards the end of the episode, you actually kind of see him achieve that. Maybe not necessarily a man of like the everyday people, but the people that had felt like they were pushed down. And so you see all the the lackeys in these criminal organizations off their bosses there at the end.
That was one of my favorites.
Because they're following his lead to step up and become something more. And I just, it blew me away that whole sequence. And then you see Vic willing to kill for him and all. I mean, it was well handled. And then the other scene that, of course, you mentioned the bat signal, but just the lead up to the bat signal where you see he got his mom that penthouse apartment that he promised her, but yet, of course, she can't enjoy it or anything like that. And she's sitting there, practically a
vegetable.
A vegetable. I was trying to say it in a nice way, but practically a vegetable. But she's sitting there and she's got a tear coming down because here she is at this penthouse apartment and she knows what her son is and the things that he did to get her there. And then you have this kind of twist there with Eve where she's dressed up as his mother. Yeah. And he's like, tell me you're proud of me. And she's like, I'm so proud of you. You're my big, strong boy and all that. And it makes me realize that was his fetish. It was not that they were, sleeping together or anything like that. That's what she was doing the whole time. She was dressing up as his mother and giving him the love and appreciation that he wanted. It just, I mean, it was just an incredible show, incredibly well acted. Everybody brought their A game on this show, whether it was from cast to crew. The makeup was awesome. The effects that they did have were great. Colin Farrell is fantastic in this. Kristen Milotti is great. The fact that she ends up back at Arkham, good Lord! I mean, that's
crazy. That
yes,
was
it is crazy.
insane.
She's gonna meet that psycho girl again. She's gonna meet that psycho girl again. And
yeah, he could have just killed her, and he was like, "No, you know what's a worse punishment? I'm gonna send her back to Arkham."
Yeah.
That's well said, Lily. That's a worse punishment for her because she spent 10 years of her life there for something she didn't do, and he puts her back there again for something she didn't do.
Yeah, because they're at the end. You know how they like did the close up to her eyes, and it looked like she was coming to peace with everything that was happening, that she was about to die. And I was like, no, this is too easy for you. And then when she turned around and like the sirens and the police came, I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, Oz is such a terrible person. I love it.
It's so good.
And that's the thing, is that you love to hate him. That is how you know you've got such a good villain here, is that you love to hate him. Because and yet he's still got some qualities that you relate to because you see the humanity in him. But as he progresses to a darker place, it's just like, wow, the journey he went on. Wow, fantastic writing, great show.
Chef's kiss.
Yes.
Well, I have one word to describe this show: a masterpiece. It was. I told Bobby this the other day, guys, that we always talk about what we would do, like if we did a Batman film or a Superman film or Star Wars or whatever. I have never thought about doing, a villain film. Like I would have no idea how to do one. And the way they did this, I mean, they set the bar high. I thought, just like you guys said, sending her back to Arkham was brilliant. What else did I like about it?
I did not see the letter from Selena Kyle coming, though.
Oh,
No,
yeah, that
I
was
had,
good.
yeah,
was
somebody had like posted something about that online, but I barely was like, yeah. And so I don't know where that's going on when, who knows? But remember, well, it's her half sister, right?
Yeah.
So that could be interesting. The bat signal at the end, I had
That was
goosebumps.
cool.
I was like, oh my God, that was just so cool. And
It
it's
was
funny.
perfect timing because Eve turns around and tells him there's no one to stand in your way.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah. And it camera zooms out of the building and pans over to the side, and that's when you see the signal. So it was perfect.
Well
Perfect
done.
timing.
One of the things Derek said repeatedly throughout this 8-week series is that Gotham is a story of its own. And in that one scene, Gotham came alive in a way when that bat signal was shown in the, and you're like, oh my God. And he's in that penthouse and it's just beautiful. And you just see the bat signal and you're like, okay, we're getting into the Batman 2. And it's interesting because when they blew up half the neighborhood, Bobby and I were talking about this because remember last week he was like, did I think that Batman would show up and everything? But I guess the fact that they blew it up during the day just, allows them to say, okay, Batman fights at night, so we don't have to worry about telling that story.
That's that's true. I didn't really think about that.
Right. I mean,
What I had told Josh was that blowing up several city blocks would probably get Batman's attention, because up to this point we hadn't seen Batman, of course. Right. And the question was, why is he not engaged in all this? And my reciprocal response is, well, he even says in the Batman that he can't be everywhere all at once. He picks his targets very carefully. So you would think that, blowing up these city blocks would get his attention. And I think that that's what they're showing with the bat signal, is that the Penguin now has Batman's attention, even more so than what he did in the first film, because in the first film, he's just a lackey for Falcone.
Correct.
Now he's a serious threat, and Batman sees that, I think.
So
and you've mentioned that, Derek, that he would start to see him that way.
Yeah, but isn't there also the idea that, well, if it's criminal on criminal, fighting each other, maybe Batman's just like, let them duel it out. Let's work for me.
Yeah, that's kind of how I thought about it too, just because all these different like gangs are kind of taking each other out. If I was Batman, I'd be like, why am I gonna get in the way of that? They're doing like
Yeah,
half
go
of my
ahead.
work for me.
Okay. But you blow up a bunch of city blocks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's probably where he can finally get involved, because up until this point, they're just kind of taking each other out. But now they're involving more innocent people.
It's
they're
like
just
Superman
blowing
putting
up
in the
buildings.
boots. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Damn
Now
it.
Batman's like, really, guys? You had to escalate it. Now I have to work.
This is interesting to me. Two things. At the end, I love the callback where you just showed him with the top hat and the umbrellas, right there. I just thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And then this is my question that I asked Bob. Bob wasn't sure. I'm not sure. So Lily and Derek, is there a time jump from that ending scene with him, with his mom, and the bat signal? Or do you think it's a couple days later?
Maybe a little bit of a time jump, but I don't think a lot.
That's what Bobby said.
Yeah, maybe like a week or something like that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree too.
Maybe
Can't be that
maybe
long.
like a few weeks.
Yeah, I don't think it's big. I don't think it's a year, 2 years, or any of that. I think it's something not even that.
Probably.
But yeah, God, that show. I mean, it showed.
We're not gonna get another one like that for quite a while.
No, I think that standard is so high. But it's funny because we talked about the rumor, or they talked about the rumor of doing a show about the Joker this week. And James Gunn said, no, it's not going to happen. But when we came on tonight, Bob said about a season 2 of that. Like everyone's like, oh, of course there could be a season 2 of this. But when they mentioned doing another villain, everyone's like, oh no, it's debunked.
Well, here's the reason why. It's because James Gunn did come out and say that was that they haven't been talking about it or anything like that. Because remember, even though this is Matt Reeves' universe, James Gunn is overseeing all of DC's movies and stuff. He's just, but he's developing his own universe, and then everybody else kind of runs like the side projects through him,
right?
And to give approval on, and then they do their kind of their own thing. Matt Reeves was the one who said that they were talking about the Penguin season 2.
I mean, it could be interesting. They also talked about a Sophia show, I heard today.
I think that's probably just rumor.
She and the Penguin have to be together. They have to be.
Yeah, I don't see her carrying a full show by herself. And that's not a knock on Kristen Milotti, because we all think that she's freaking awesome. I think give her an award right now because she's freaking awesome. But I don't know if her character has enough to carry a show by herself the way the Penguin did.
Now, I could see an Arkham Asylum series. I could get behind an Arkham series.
It'd be hard to do. You would basically have to kind of make it like a bunch of Batman villains.
That's what I was thinking.
In Arkham.
Correct.
Bring Paul Dano back.
Yeah, you bring
redeem him.
Bring Paul Dano back to play the Riddler again, and then what's the name of the actor who plays the Joker? I know he only has a small.
Barry Keoghan.
Yeah, bring him back for that, and you could have the two of them in that show.
Josh wasn't a fan of that Joker.
I wasn't. I mean, we only saw him for a few minutes. I don't know. The one I liked as the Joker, besides, I mean, Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson, but recently I would say Connor. Oh God, I can't. Monahan, the one who played
Cameron Monahan.
Yeah, in Gotham, I thought did a very good job, and really didn't get the chance to play him as well as I would have liked him to. But we'll see. Yeah, look, I'm willing to give people a chance. I mean, when we talked about it today, like when Man of Steel came out and Lawrence Fishburne was, cast as Perry White, I was like, oh, okay, and it was great. Or even who was it? Jeff, the one who played Commissioner Gordon in the Batman.
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright.
Did a fantastic job. So, I'm willing to take a look and see how it is.
But I feel like this raised the bar though for the villains, because I liked the Batman movie, but I didn't like the Riddler. He was such a
Really?
letdown at the end. Yeah, for me it was a letdown because they set him up doing all these things, and then at the end you just see him and you're like, no.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Why? This is so dumb.
He's got that scary voice and everything, and then all of a sudden you see him on that little video talking to all of his followers. Hi.
Yeah,
that
why?
you're all here.
I still loved it. The fact that we got Riddler, I was happy.
Look, I get what you're saying, Lily, and I've mentioned this to you, Josh, before, that the last third of the Batman was my least favorite part of the.
Yeah,
I thought it was the weakest part of the movie. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the fight, where Batman's taking out all the henchmen or all the followers of Riddler, I think it looks really cool. I just think that that last third is the weakest part, given what we saw in the first 2/3 of the film. But I still like the Batman a lot. So I'm not
hoping, as being a diehard fan, as you all know, I am hoping that Bobby is right on the second Batman, that we get more of a Bruce Wayne feel on this one with oh my God, I just lost his name.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Where instead of being more kind of grunge and black sheep, that we get more of a Bruce Wayne vibe in the second one.
I think we will, just simply because of how. I think we will because of how the Batman ends, because he says that he realizes he has to do things a little differently.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to present more of the Playboy image in the second, just because I think he's going to try to get out more and try to do some good as Bruce Wayne, and still behind the scenes doing everything he does as the Batman.
Yeah.
At least that's my.
He's got the look. He can pull it off.
Yeah, I liked him. He shocked me. I didn't think I wasn't too thrilled when he got cast as Bruce Wayne and Batman, but he did a good job.
If you've seen some of his other stuff outside of Twilight, he's done some good stuff. And then what sold me was when I saw him in Tenet.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, that's right.
That sold me.
You mentioned it. No, it was good. I think the coolest scene in a long time was that opening with him in the Batman when he's coming through the tunnel, and he takes out all the guys and everything. I thought that was cool.
That's a good
psychological thriller.
Yeah, they did.
I think the best part of that movie is probably the first 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like where you hear the Batman theme
playing,
and he's monologuing, saying how at night he has to. Or that he's now a nocturnal animal, and that he has to pick his targets, and that they have a signal now. I just think that whole scene is great.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
no, it was a really great movie. It was a great movie, but I mean, now that we've gotten this show, that's why I'm comparing the villains a little bit more, because I'm like, how did you just give us this amazing TV show?
Yeah, they're gonna have a lot to live up to.
Yeah, when I never thought when you think about Batman villains,
Josh, put your phone down.
No, I'm looking to see what Matt Reeves has done. Every time I think of him, I think he's done X-Men First Class, but he doesn't. He did the Planet of the Apes stuff.
Yes, he did Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, when you think about Batman villains, well, at least to me, the Penguin has never been at the front. He's always a character that I'm always yeah, the Penguin's there, but whatever. But now with this TV show, now I'm oh my gosh, he's probably one of the better villains now that I've ever seen. And this is what people have been wanting. Make your villains, make them bad, make them people that you see them do bad things and they don't care about doing bad things. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's not this misunderstood guy.
No,
or anything
he's awful. He's awful. No. We saw him as a child killing his brothers. He was aware since then.
Yeah. You see, Lily, not to date ourselves, the three of us grew up with the Penguin of reruns of the Adam West Batman. The Burgess Meredith dressed as Penguin, that type of the cartoon, Batman the Animated Series, and then so this was a very good
Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah.
Danny DeVito is probably my favorite Penguin.
He's good, but this was just
Yeah, this was amazing. I love this so much. God, it was such a good show. I'm so mad it's over.
I
Like
know.
I wish they would do TV the way that they did it before, where we got like 22 episodes in one season.
But you know what though? There's also beauty in the fact that it's only 8 because all 8 were so well done.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was amazing.
There is a level of beauty to that. Like, and that will make you appreciate a show like this because all they needed was 8, and every episode was a work of art. But,
So
but now, to Lily's point, I am addicted now. I'm gonna want season 2 bad now.
yeah, I want to go watch Batman actually. And
Yeah, I want to watch that again.
it's been a while. No, just fantastic, and look, it can be done, right? A show can be done that we all like. It had everything in it.
Yep.
Told a great story. Continued a story. It can be done.
It's proof.
No one's
Yeah.
complained. Like,
Yeah, it's great from start to finish. Great writing, great acting. It had a good story. It was gritty. It was dark. It was intense. Even when nothing like big was happening, it was still intense in how they handled everything.
and
Little
as
conversations were great. People in their facial expressions told stories. I
Yep.
mean, it was great. Like Kristen
And
Milotti, we all mentioned it on here before. Her eyes tell a story.
yeah. And has anybody come out and said, "Oh, we have superhero fatigue"? No.
No.
After this, no one said that.
We're like,
It's
give
not
us more.
Big.
Yeah.
I don't think I saved it, but I saw a really good tweet today that said not to compare Marvel with DC, but they're gonna compare Marvel to DC. But Marvel has had how many shows, and this is DC's like first one in this universe. And they're like, how is it that Marvel cannot have one successful TV show, and this is the first one that DC puts out, and everyone loves it?
Yeah.
You know what it
Yeah.
is with Marvel? Because Endgame was so good that they couldn't do they can't think of anything else to capitalize
That does
on.
not have anything to do with it. That has
You
zero
don't
to do
think-
with it. No,
I
it
think
has to do with bad writers getting thrown around everywhere. All you needed was the one to be good. This proved it. That was it.
Yeah.
Now you're right that there was some fatigue with Endgame, but it doesn't mean you would write if you wrote a great show, people would be into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
I mean,
like-
people were really into WandaVision until they messed it up with the ending. I was really enjoying that TV show. Like the first couple of episodes when they were doing like the different sitcoms or whatever, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like it's different. I don't know what's going on. But the more information they gave us, the less I liked it. The more that I was like, oh, this is kind of dumb.
And now Kevin Feige said they're bringing Scarlet Witch back from the dead. I heard today.
I heard that too.
Yeah, you couldn't bring Robert Downey Jr. back from the dead. You
Yes, they're bringing him.
back.
Well,
too.
they needed somebody to play Doctor Doom, Josh. You got what you wanted.
I
That'll
did not-
help.
Yeah, I never said I wanted Robert Downey Jr. to play Dr. Doom.
You said you wanted it back.
You were never specific, Josh. You just said, I want Robert Downey Jr. I want Doctor Doom. Well, they gave you both.
In one shot.
You
So
should have been very specific.
Yes, I should have. Apparently, you have to now.
No,
Oh.
you mentioned Lily. You mentioned like that this was the first that DC has brought out, like under their new banner. I mean, they still got some other stuff that's kind of good. You know, Superman and Lois they just put out a really, really good episode on that one. But
Really?
but under their new banner, like since James Gunn took over, this is really the first, and it's great. And now I'm also hearing good things about Creature Commandos. That's supposed to come out next month, I believe. And I'm hearing good things about that. And then the next show after that. What's that?
I saw the trailer for that, and that actually does look pretty cool. Like,
Yeah,
I
it looks.
think I'm actually
It
gonna watch that.
Yeah, it looks cool. And then I'm hearing, or not hearing, but we've talked about the casting for Lanterns. I mean,
Yeah.
and they want to make it kind of like True Detective. I mean, that sounds intriguing to me. After what I just saw with the Penguin, I'm more intrigued with Lanterns now than what I was before.
That's cool.
I'm game for it.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm too.
I agree. I like a lot of the casts that they have so far.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Anything else, guys, before we move on to the next topic?
We love you,
that's it for me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good job, Penguin. All right.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
10 out of 10.
If you're not watching it, I don't know what you're doing. You need to go watch it.
At least we got some other stuff coming out. We got some other stuff coming out because we got Cobra Kai coming out Friday.
Oh,
we got Dune Prophecy comes out Sunday.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that one so bad.
I gotta watch the other two of those.
Yeah, watch Dune. Yeah, you gotta watch that.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Very good.
All right, what you got? Ready, Josh?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. All right, so
that might be better than the actual trailers.
It was.
Past week we got brand new trailers for Captain America 4 Brave New World and Thunderbolts. I think the best thing to do right now is why don't we watch? Are we going to watch one of them first and discuss, or watch both of them?
You let me know, Josh, because we can do one right after the other if you want.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we can discuss everything.
All right, let me share my screen here. So we'll start with the Captain America trailer.
Okay.
You asked for me. Here I am.
You want to help me?
Is there anything you remember?
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Thaddeus Ross.
Whatever this is, Cap, be careful.
What do we know?
There were 5 shooters. This was a coordinated terrorist attack, sir.
I was a wartime general. Now I'm a wartime president.
Your inner circle's been compromised. Let me fix it.
Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not. Wait for it. We're on the brink of war. I can't trust anyone. Nothing about this feels right.
Captain America. You ever ask yourself, who's playing who?
Someone's been pulling the strings on everything.
You're under arrest? I don't want a variable out there that I can't control.
Stop!
Captain America, caught without his wings.
You like to play dress up and blindly execute the state's orders.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
What if this is a trap?
You don't even know what this is.
Since when were they red?
You want me? Come and get me!
Oh my gosh, this is coming out on Valentine's Day.
I can't wait to take my wife there on Valentine's Day. Honey, forget a date night. We're going to go see Brave New World.
She's going to love you after that.
My God, I can't wait to see the Incredible Hulk fight Red Hulk.
All right, so here we go for Thunderbolts.
Oh, America's so big.
You ever drive through Oklahoma? It's so flat.
You got a convoy approaching fast. Step on it.
Come on. Come on, baby.
Okay, a bit faster, please.
Lexi!
Okay, don't worry. Engaging defensive measures.
Oh my god.
Wait, that's not supposed
Oh my god.
Walker, shield!
Is that Bucky?
It's a Winter Soldier. That guy is so cool. That's what I talk about!
That's not good.
How crazy is it to think of all the monumental fights that happened exactly here where you're standing? I mean, the place wasn't cheap, but it's got good optics. Look at you. You are all so adorable.
Eat shit, Valentina.
Make up your mind.
The assignment is... Oh, wait, hang on. Assignment is complete.
What kind of super serum did you get?
I don't know, regular. Hydra.
Hydra. Oh, fancy.
Who is this old Santa?
The Red Guardian.
What?
Everyone here has done bad things. Shadow ops. Contract kills.
And you, former Red Room assassin. God only knows the blood on your hands.
Pretty ludicrous coming from the dime store Captain America.
I'll have you know I was actually the official Captain America, so.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds.
It's getting so tense in here.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
We're just drifting. And we don't have purpose. You can't escape the past.
So you can either do something about it now or live with it forever.
So what, do we all just punch and shoot?
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
Thank God.
The Thunderbolts. It's a cool name.
First time I
I do
saw
like
them-
how they put the little asterisk there at the
Yeah.
end of it because they can't agree on the name.
All right, so we've seen both movies trailers. I guess let's go around and see what we all thought. Bob, why don't we start with you?
All right.
How much
Funny.
time do we have?
Um,
Oh my gosh.
okay. I liked the Thunderbolts trailer. It's a long trailer because they decided to show us an entire scene of the movie, but
Yep.
I'm intrigued by Thunderbolts. Remember I said on the first one, when that one came out, remember I said I wasn't too excited about it, that it did nothing to sell me.
Yeah.
I actually kind of liked what I saw with Thunderbolts. I think you can get a little goofy with these characters because they're not well-known characters. So I think
Okay.
you can get a little goofy with them, and I think you're kind of cool with that. As far as Captain America goes, I could see where they're trying to give us they're trying to give us a vibe kind of like the Winter Soldier, and I know why they're trying to do that, because Marvel's trying to course correct on a lot of things, and this movie practically was reshot. I mean, it did so bad at test screenings that they reshot most of the movie, if not all of it. And I mean, some of the action looks kind of good, but I just still don't buy Sam Wilson as Captain America because he doesn't have the super serum. I would have preferred that they have Bucky take over simply because he's got the super serum. I was never a fan of Sam Wilson getting the mantle in the comics as well for the same reason. I mean, if they give him the super serum, okay, then now we're talking. But up until then, like, are scenes in it where I'm like when the Hulk throws that burning car at him and he jumps and he flies and rips it with the wings. I'm like, how is he not getting fried? At this moment? Or when he flies right into the missile, I'm like, I'm really? I'm like, I could maybe see Steve Rogers getting out of that. Like even the movie poster. I don't know if you saw this, Lily, but in the movie poster, they've got him holding the shield and the Red Hulk punching it. But yet in somebody showed a scene where the Green Hulk was punching Steve Rogers, and he was literally crushing him. I'm like, so I just don't buy some of the choices that they make that they've made in this movie.
You do realize you watched Commando. You watched Commando and saw Arnold carrying a thing. And you were
that came out in the 80s. No. You expect that from that time. When you've seen The Winter Soldier, when you've seen a lot of these movies, and they're trying to give you the Winter Soldier vibes, and there's stuff that doesn't fit with it, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot. I am going to give it a shot. But the fact that they're bringing it out on Valentine's Day and it's been reshot multiple times, they're saying that the budget of this thing is astronomical because of the reshoots. I'm just not sold based on this trailer. Thunderbolts, yes. This one, no.
You heard they just reshot it again today with Chris Evans playing Captain America.
Oh, they'd actually make a profit if they did.
Yeah.
They would.
All right, Lily. What do you think?
Oh man, I had not seen the Thunderbolts trailer yet. This is the first time that I watch it, and this one actually makes me want to go see it. It looks a little bit more Marvel, like classic Marvel to me, how it was before, like with all the stunts and all the action sequences. That reminds me a lot of like classic Avengers that we used to watch back in the day. And I have to point out to what Bob said is that a lot of these stunts and the action sequences are something that are believable for these characters. And a lot of them, like Bucky, he's got the super serum, so he can do a lot of this stuff and you don't really question it too much. But yeah, when I'm watching like Sam Wilson, I'm like, really, dude? I don't think so. Like, I don't think he can pull off a lot of this stuff. And you know what? I'm sorry, but that his costume with the wings, and he's also Captain America, like, it's goofy. It's goofy to me. I don't like it. If he was going to take on the mantle of Captain America, be Captain America. With the wings, it's still giving Falcon, and I don't like that. Like, or name yourself Captain Falcon. Come up with a whole new character. Like, it looks goofy to me. I don't like it. I don't like this whole plot. They're trying to make it so serious, and at the same time, so much goofy stuff is happening around them that I can't take it seriously. Whereas in the Thunderbolts, they're making jokes, and yes, it's a little bit more like lively, whatever, but it kind of fits there because they're not taking this movie too seriously. Whereas, in the other one, oh my God, too much goofy stuff is happening that I can't take them seriously. I can't. I will probably go watch Thunderbolts just because I do like a lot of this cast and I like how they play their characters. I will probably skip the Captain Falcon America, whatever.
Captain America.
I'm not gonna Sam Wilson. Like, I don't care. I really don't care.
No, I know what you're saying. Like those actors, and a lot of them are kind of good in Thunderbolts. Like David Harbour's the Red Guardian. That's kind of cool. I mean,
Yeah, he's hilarious.
That's funny.
It is funny. A lot of the stuff that happened was funny. But yeah, I think they should have just gone in the direction that Bucky should have been Captain America. That's what they were gonna do. But I mean, that's not what we got. So I guess we'll see how this goes. And I don't know. Personally, I think a lot more people are gonna go watch Thunderbolts than they are the Captain America Falcon Sam Wilson movie. So
agreed.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess because I'm also seeing it as like its own thing, that they're not really trying to continue like the old Avengers thing, since now this is Thunderbolts. So in my mind, they're not trying to continue that story with the Avengers. They're like, you know what? Let's just get these random characters and put them together in this movie and see what happens.
And they're all
whereas,
kind of bad guys too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Whereas in the other one, they're trying to continue a story that's already dead because it ended with Endgame. So that's another thing that bothers me. But yeah, that's just me.
All right. Derico, what do you think?
Okay, so I'll talk about Captain America first.
Okay.
You know, if you actually took the first couple of like shots and sequences from the like first couple of seconds within the trailer, like about the first 30 seconds, it actually does look good. They got some really cool sequences, you know, with ambush on the White House and the interrogation. That actually was one of the things that did intrigue me about it. The problem is it's when Captain America actually shows up in his suit.
That was fun until Captain America showed up.
The main character.
Let me also express, I like Anthony Mackie as an actor. I do. I think he's great. But to be fair, I've also, and I know there were, really good Marvel movies that were Captain America movies. I got a lot of respect for the way Chris Evans pulled that off. But I have never liked Captain America as a hero, ever. I think he's too goody two shoes. I wish Wolverine would have cussed him out several times.
Wow.
Like he's too like I just don't know.
Wow.
Stop whining.
Stop whining. That's funny.
Oh, you're gonna be whining after you watch this, Bob. Don't worry.
Oh my god!
I know it's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that like Harrison Ford got dragged into this is
he just
God knows
care
what
anymore.
Like, I don't need to see that.
He doesn't want to be there. I know he's pretending like he does, but
that's the thing. Like he genuinely, like, I mean, I'd be surprised if like during this movie he's just like, I hate this. Like just flat out just rambles off. That you don't tell Harrison Ford what to do. Okay, just let him go.
No.
Okay, fine.
I just can't wait for the red carpet premiere. So what did you think about being in Marvel? I don't care.
I don't care. Oh, and then you know what also gave me like, oh my gosh, I cringed so hard. Josh might understand this and Bob too, because we're like the Star Wars people here. But that little thing where they pause and she goes, I didn't know they were red. Doesn't that give you like, I didn't know they could fly now vibes from the freaking sequel? I was like, no, why are you interrupting this this is what I mean. They're trying to set the tone that it's a really serious movie, and then they put in a stupid joke in the middle of it and ruins the whole entire moment. That's so stupid. I'm sorry to cut you off, Derek.
No, it's okay. But I honestly, the Red Hulk was where I thought it went. That's just what is that?
It just looks bad. I don't care.
It's just I do hear what you're saying too. All right, so good luck, with that. I don't know. Maybe some of it'll work. I'm not sure. But okay, yeah, fine. Thunderbolts was actually good. That actually looked like a lot of fun. It is kind of I remember thinking this, like watching it, it's like all the extra characters were burnouts from the Marvel movies. Yeah. And I feel like in this one, like the guy who runs the Marvel operation is just like, okay, guys, do whatever you want. I don't care. Just put a movie together. Fine, go. Do whatever you want. And maybe when you do that, there's an element of beauty to it because maybe they just went rogue and it's like, hey, let's mess around. Let's have some fun. and that may be what we get. And I loved every cast member I saw. It looked good. I'm intrigued. That one I'll watch. I think that's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
me too.
Okay. All right, Thunderbolts. Really watching it with you guys right now was the first time I went through the whole thing. I think it looks cool. I will watch it. I thought the beginning gave me an original Iron Man vibe, just, being in the, wherever they were in the Middle East or whatever. I thought just the story, it'll be interesting. Love seeing Bucky in it. I think, like Bobby said, they can all be a little quirky because we don't really know those characters. Definitely, we'll see it. But let's talk about this Captain America BS or whatever you want to.
You said a lot harsher than us.
Yeah.
The Red Hulk, and the Red Hulk should be fighting the Green Hulk. Okay, that's number one. Apparently, we have the leader in this movie. We have Betty Ross in this movie. You got to have the Incredible Hulk in this movie. God, I hope they have it. Because if they don't, it's probably an F. Who knows?
In your luck, it'll be Smart Hulk.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh. Oh, why did you have to remind me that he's smart now?
I just got a headache. I hope
I got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, so
She-Hulk.
stupid.
My luck is She-Hulk that shows up. It'll be She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall.
Oh my gosh, probably.
Oh,
and that's when Daredevil will show up, and we'll have all the fun in the world, won't we?
Now that I'm looking forward to.
With Megan the Stallion, and then they'll twerk.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Also, Harrison Ford, Thunderbolt Ross, not having a mustache. Are you kidding me? It's Thunderbolt Ross. He needs a mustache. Come on. Do I think it's going to make money? I don't know. I could see if by any chance people liked it. Bobby always says, like, the second week, maybe people come in. The only way I could see it making money is because of Harrison Ford. People are like, Harrison Ford.
Let me see if I can find the budget.
That's what I was looking for.
I would doubt
they
they're going to
have
make money just
as
off
350 million.
I do like
they have it as 350 million?
Yeah, they have it as 350 million. Well, this is the first thing that I saw.
They're not
between 350 to 375 million.
Ooh. Okay, so for something like that, you're gonna have to make. Okay, so you got 350 million. Let's give it the small side, 350 million. It's at least another 100 to 150 for marketing,
right?
So you're looking at least
you're around
$450 to $500 million. And then
it's going to have to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
It would have to make even. Yeah, it would have to make. You'd have to double that in order to see any profit. So 700 million minimum.
And that's almost just to break even because, of course, as we know, the theaters get a cut. So it's not like all of it just goes back to the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Marvels had a budget of 270, and that one was a bomb. So this one's like more 100 and something more than that. I don't think this is gonna make money.
This ain't gonna break $1 billion.
Sorry,
this ain't gonna break $1 billion.
No,
it won't.
It's going to have to. The only way it is if you have the Hulk in it, and you have other characters in it. And again, Bucky should have been Captain America. So how was it in the comics?
You want to take bets now? Does this make more than Joker 2, or does it?
Oh my gosh!
It'll make more than Joker 2, but that's a very low bar that we're setting.
What did Joker 2 end up making? 200 million?
Oh, something like that. It bombed badly because its budget was like 200 million.
I heard Phillips wanted it to bomb.
Let me see. Yeah, it made 200 million.
That means it probably lost 100 to 150 million dollars. Because again, when you factor in marketing and the theater cut, it probably lost about 100 to 150 million.
Oh, and see, I think Thunderbolts is going to be profitable because it only costs 150 million.
Oh, yeah.
They have a bigger chance to make money off of that one than they do Brave New World or whatever.
Does it say there when Thunderbolts is releasing again?
May.
It said May. Yeah.
In May. So there's another thing, Josh. You mentioned this before that Marvel should be releasing a film in May because you said that it's good to start off the summer, something like that. So if it releases in May, that's more of an opportunity for it to make money. You can't tell me that they put Captain America on Valentine's Day because they think that it's going to make money. To me, that looks like they're just throwing it out there because they know this thing's going to bomb.
But like the Batman came out in March, but I guess spring break maybe.
Yeah.
But the Batman's a different type of film. So
I mean, they were looking to get that thing out as soon as they could because of how many failures it had.
Yeah,
they just wanted to release it, didn't they? That's how I would do it.
I think that one could have come out in May or June.
No.
But this is another question. Do you guys think that if the Captain America Falcon Sam Wilson movie bombs, do you think that'll affect Thunderbolts and people won't go watch Thunderbolts because of it? That people will finally be like, oh, you know what? The Marvels sucked. They're giving us this Captain America movie that sucks too. Like, should we even give Thunderbolts a chance?
If it were coming out in March, yes, I would agree with you. 3 months is probably enough space to get a little bit of time.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we still have Craven, right? That's coming out. Craven coming out.
Craven without Spy. There we go. No, it's not happening.
Not happening. Daredevil release.
I think it's the summertime next year.
You're not allowed to write about Craven on.
Daredevil releases in March.
Does it really? Oh, okay. Good. Okay. Fun.
That might maybe if Daredevil's good, maybe that'll help boost some interest for Thunderbolts. If Daredevil's good, I mean, granted, it's a Disney,
streaming, or is it going to be on a movie?
No, it's a Disney Plus. But what I mean is, maybe it'll help generate some excitement again. Because right now, Marvel's excitement is in the toilet, except for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
Fantastic Four, nobody is excited for.
What are you getting mad about?
Because it's stupid.
What are you getting? Looks like you're being held hostage.
Being held hostage by awesomeness. Thank you very much.
All you need is like a blindfold.
You'll probably find something in here.
Oh my God.
You might need it here in a little bit.
Derek, are you sure you're okay? You're not being held hostage? Scratch your nose, you're being held hostage. Good God. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see. Yeah, good. All right. Why don't we anything else we want to talk about that, or should we go on to the next thing?
We have to.
Oh God, yes, we do.
Oh, I know what this means.
We do. Let's do it. Bob. Hit it. Yes, I know. Okay, I gotta go. I'm on the show. Hold on. Sorry, guys. That was Adam Rank talking to me, congratulating me for once again winning. Beating you guys. Okay, everybody is going crazy with this. Last time I was very quiet when I won. Not tonight. Let's go ahead, Bobo.
All right. Let me see. Okay. So here we go. We're doing week 10. And of course, this week did not go well for Derek.
You bunch of losers!
Love it.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and recap our scores. So we're going to start off with the one who is in last place. That is Derek.
Oh, I don't care. It's so good. I'm happy.
Yeah, you do. You fucking care. Sorry. Oh, that was bad.
As Derek's fuck you, Josh. So Derek, your lineup, you went with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, 16.54 points. You had Saquon Barkley at 8.8. I don't know what you were thinking with
that clearly wasn't.
Justin Jefferson, very big disappointment for Justin Jefferson, 9.8, especially because he was 8,800. Xavier Worthy, 2.1. Ricky Pearsall was your best play, 17.3. Taysom Hill, 7 points. I actually thought that was a good play. I liked that play. Rodriguez, I thought that was kind of interesting, especially with what's his name out, Brian Robinson. So that could have been good. But your defense also did really, really well with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Final score was 81.94. Final verdict.
I lost. Wait a minute, I'm not supposed to lose. Let me see the script.
I love that movie. So good.
Forgot about that one. Good one.
Good movie.
Oh yeah, it wasn't supposed to lose, but you did. So now we get on to our next loser.
The yelling.
Aaron Rodgers. Wow,
Right,
what is
and
2009?
Jeez.
All I could say is because they're the Jets. So
now
decided to go with Aaron Rodgers. I thought that they would actually be more competitive in that dome against Arizona. Aaron Rodgers stunk it up at 5.04. Aaron Jones stunk it up at 12.1. DeAndre Swift stunk it up at 7.5. Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams each stunk it up at 9.1. Mac Hollins did fine with 12.6 for his price point. Kyle Pitts, 4,800. He gave me 9.5. George Kittle saved me with a last-second touchdown. The Bears defense not too good. Final score was 83.64. Final verdict.
Dishonor on your whole family. Make a note of this. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
Yeah.
Oh, guys. I'm still trying to figure out the 80 points on yours, Bob. It doesn't look 80 points.
I know. It was
right?
just enough. So anyway, now we get to our champ for the week.
Oh, look at that. Derek with the disgusting. I told you. So good. The champ is here. Thank you.
All right. So
I didn't even have a good lineup, and I beat you guys.
Josh, shut up.
Yeah, shut up.
So Josh, you went with Jaden Daniels, 8.58. I think you got unlucky with that one because they were down by the goal line a few times, and they kept giving the ball to somebody else to score.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara, 15.9. Ray Davis, 0.6 points. Marvis Harrison did fine. He didn't kill you at 16.4. Johnson, same thing, didn't kill you, especially given his price point at 10.4. DeAndre Hopkins was a little bit of a letdown, but it didn't kill you, 9.6. Evan Ingram did fine with 10 points. Cole Kmet, 3.3. The Jaguars defense did good for you. Your final score was 85.78. Final verdict.
Come on.
It's so, and Lily's back. Let me tell you, welcome back, Lily. Lily knows who the champion is. Lily even gave me a call and was like, "Josh, you are the champion. I can't believe you with two other losers."
Shut up!
I knew you would do that, Bob. I had this all planned out tonight. I had a call from Bobby's parents earlier saying, "You know what? We've always considered you a second son. Now we want to put you as our number one son. You are a winner." And I said,
"Oh my gosh.
Thank you. I love you."
Get on to the leaderboard. The leaderboard was Josh, you are up at 4 wins apiece.
Wow.
Eric and I are tied at 3. We are getting into week 11. We still how many weeks are there now? There's 18 weeks, so still a lot of football to go. So we'll see how that plays out.
Losers.
You have the playoffs as well. So
right, Derek, you're a loser. You know it. You know it. You got rushed.
You didn't get crushed. This was the closest
Josh. You beat him by 4 points.
Let me tell you, Lily, these guy Bobby's always, I do well in football. I do well on DraftKings. I'm not seeing that. Are you, Lily? I mean, she's laughing because she knows.
Oh my gosh.
Josh, shut up. You gotta hope to God you don't lose for next week.
Hey, Bob, I have one thing for you. Thank you. All right. That was great. Who Ooh, Lily, do you have any questions for me? Any questions at all?
Oh, God. God.
All right.
Gosh.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
The champ. The champ. Joshua.
You are in the deepest of turds next week. I hope
I hope he loses. I really do. Oh,
you
God.
better hope I lose, because if I win again.
Oh, I know.
You remember what happened the last time I beat you, Josh?
Oh, you better hope you don't win, because with the dames and dorks, are you kidding? It's going to be a huge celebration.
You're not going to put them through any of that pain. You keep your mouth shut with that.
Oh, they're all going to be happy. Shmoo's going to be happy. Nomi's going to be happy.
Gosh,
Dr.
shut
Rachel,
up.
Dr.
Nobody's
Laura.
going to be happy. Your mom's not going to be happy. Quiet.
Oh, I just got invited to Thanksgiving dinner at my parents' house. All right. Let's go on to the next thing. The final topic of the night. All right. So this was a topic that I knew Lily was going to come on, and we were kind of deciding what our final topic would be. And I thought this would be kind of cool. I know, Lily, you always mention, your nephew and, movies you guys see. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to, go over some of these, our top 5 Disney or Pixar animated movies. So that's what we're going to do. We're going, as you know, with our rankings, we'll start out as our honorable mention, and then gradually, get to number 1. Lily, why don't we start with you? Give me your 2 honorable mentions right now.
Do you have any idea how difficult this was to narrow it down to 5 and then 2 honorable mentions?
I know, I'm sure.
So I actually broke the rules a little bit. I have 3 honorable mentions.
That's fine.
That's fine.
So my 3 honorable mentions. Oh, this was so hard not to put them in the top 5. Okay, so I have Monsters Inc., Toy Story 3, and Aladdin as my 3.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Good choices.
So, so I put these there just because I didn't do like the original Toy Story, because I like the way that Toy Story 3 ended for me, and I think they wrapped it up and it was super cute. I loved it. And Monsters Inc. is a newer kind of Pixar Disney film, and I love it. It's so funny. It's one that like adults and kids can watch. And my when my nephews were little, this came out, so they made me watch it like 1 billion times. And I still love it. I can still watch it. And Aladdin, Jasmine is like my 3rd favorite Disney princess. So I had to put that one in there. But it didn't make my top 5 because Aladdin is actually the main character in this one. And Jasmine isn't the main Disney princess that's got her own story here. So that's why I picked those.
All right.
Okay, very cool. Baba, what about you, my friend?
All right. I had to go deep into the Disney vault for this one.
Okay.
My first honorable mention is The Rescuers Down Under.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I like The Rescuers Down Under. I like the villain McLeach. I love that little iguana of his, Joanna.
Oh, yeah.
Who's always trying to eat the eggs.
Oh my gosh. I think that was the best part of that whole movie.
Yes, where he's sitting there and he keeps moving, or you see the little lunchbox.
Yeah.
He just, opens it where the iguana keeps eating the eggs. And then he turns around, he's like, when he catches her in there, he's like, "Who you messing with, you dumb animal? My mental facilities are twice what yours are." And then he opens it up and it's empty. So yeah, but one of the reasons I liked it also is because at the time when that came out, that was really kind of the first Disney sequel that had come out to an animated film. Because remember, The Rescuers Down Under is a sequel to the first film, and it also came out into theaters. So I really liked it when it came out. If I remember correctly, it's John Candy who does the voice of the albatross in the second one. So yeah, The Rescuers Down Under. And then I'm going to go with the only one of the Disney films that I'm aware of. I mean, there may be another one, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that was nominated for Best Picture, or at least for the longest time was nominated for Best Picture, and that was Beauty and the Beast. I love Gaston. Gaston is one of my favorite villains. And especially the scene where he's like, and every last inch of me is covered with hair.
Funny.
But I love just the way that he is. Like, Belle, I'll tell him, Gaston, this is a surprise, isn't it? Though, you know,
how can you read?
So arrogant. I love him as a character. And just the story of Beauty and the Beast is really cool for the most part. I mean, if you really wanted to poke some holes in Beauty and the Beast story, you can, but it's still fun. So I got that one as my number 6.
Okay, very cool. Derico?
Okay, I'm going to list out a few before I give my 7 and 6 here. I forgot all the Disney movies I watched as a little kid. I really had to jog my memory for this. So, like The Fox and the Hound, remember that one?
Great movie, yes. Very good. Yeah, good call.
I forgot how much I watched Bambi as a kid. I watched that movie a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I mean, great movie, but yeah.
I had to give a shout out. It doesn't make my top 5, even 6 or 7, but you have to give a shout out to The Lion King because Elton John made a lot of money there.
Oh yes.
And
I left that one out too.
I'm not saying it's good, but it just didn't cut the mustard for my list. But I could see it's probably on your guys' list, or one of them anyway, and I would totally understand as to why. My number 7, because it really is historic with film, I think my number 7 is the first Toy Story.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was where Pixar started it all, really. Although 2, 3, and 4 are very, very good as well, but we only have 7 spots here, so I might as well go with the first one. My number 6 is an admission of guilt, possibly, because this came out when we were starved for entertainment during the COVID. Oh, the lights came back.
Oh, so that's what you look like.
Yeah. I was wondering if that was going to happen. Okay, good. All right, so my number 6, we were actually starved for entertainment during this time because of the COVID. Yeah. But I got a chance to watch this with my kids, and it was a blast. And it's a movie called Luca.
Oh, yeah, very good.
That is a cute movie.
Yeah, it was really good. I was really surprised. Round of applause. Real done. And maybe it was because I was just excited to see something new and I didn't care what it was. Right. Fine. Give me a story about fish babies and how they turn human. I don't care. And then that's rounds off my honorable mentions. So, yeah, Toy Story number 7 and Luca number 6.
All right. For me, now some of these that we'll go over, I got to say it's just I've been able to rewatch these because I have a daughter. So really my love for them, has definitely grown. The very first honorable mention for me, I'm going to say the one that started it all, Snow White.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the very first animated film, so I got to give it its due. It's still, I've watched it with Charlie a couple of times and, it's good. It's definitely going to be better than that new one they're going to do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Seven Dwarfs.
You don't have your tickets yet?
No, for you.
Speaking of reshooting things.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
And then my other honorable mention is Mary Poppins. And that's why I asked you, Bob, if, we can include because there is some animated stuff in that. I love that movie. I love how, Banks is down on his luck. And here you have Mary Poppins come in and, kind of save the day. And I even like the sequel to the movie.
I was just about to ask you, what do you think of the sequel? Because I happen to think I happen to like it. I mean, I don't think it's as good as the original, but it's fun.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. I was very happy with the sequel, but I mean, Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke, even if you saw the movie Saving Mr. Banks with Tom Hanks, which was excellent, also one of my favorites, how they talked about, how the story was created with I can't think of the last name, the one who wrote the story. But anyway, just a great movie. Watch it with Charlie. Sometimes she'll be on her iPad watching it, and it just, warms my heart. I love it. So those are my two honorable mentions. By the way, Lily, you mentioned something. Toy Story 3 is actually my least favorite Toy Story because I think it is so
Really?
sad. I think it is
Oh, and I think that's why I like it because it wraps up. To me, I know Derek mentioned Toy Story 4, but I don't consider that part of the Toy Story. I didn't like that movie.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
I didn't like that movie. So for me, it ends at 3. They ended it perfectly, and I think that's why I like it. It wraps everything up where it's a super sad ending, but you know that like those toys are going to continue to be loved, and I love that message. Is that you grow up, but you pass these things on to someone else, whether it be your children or like in his case, like someone else that's going to keep loving all of those things.
See, I'm hoping that the 5th one, they bring Andy back as an adult and has kids, and that his kids get.
Oh my god! Yeah, well, I hope they fix it because 4th part was a mess. I didn't like it.
I was not a fan of the 4th. All right.
No.
So anyway, all right, let's go on. Derek, let's start with you. Let's go to number 5 now.
Well, maybe I should go in and burn my son's Forky hat now that you've managed to crap all over Toy Story 4.
Well,
sorry. To be fair, I think that was probably one of my favorite parts of Toy Story 4. Was
Forky? Yeah.
Stupid fork.
Pretty
Yeah.
funny. Right. Okay. For my number 5, yeah, let's go old school. My number 5 is The Sword and the Stone.
Good movie.
Oh,
yeah. Oh my God, I forgot all about that movie.
How could you forget about that?
Movie.
The Madam Mim and Merlin. Do you have any idea?
Oh my gosh,
that scene!
That scene.
Three times in a row.
Merlin, no disappearing.
Ma'am, ma'am.
That is a great movie.
Yeah, it's very, very well done. I introduced my sons to that last year, and there was a period where they watched that movie every weekend for like 3 months. It was a big staple in our house. I was reminded how much I loved it. Yeah, Sword in the Stone gets the 5th on the list for me.
That's probably the same time that the Robin Hood movie came out, wasn't it? Because they look like similar in animation.
Yeah,
yep.
That one is one of my favorites too. It did not make my list, but that just like jogged my memory when you said Sword in the Stone. I was like, oh my gosh, Robin Hood.
Yeah. Well, they had that big. There were a bunch of movies that came out then where they went on air.
Because there's so many. That's why, like, when you said 5, I was like, that's so impossible. Like, if I could, I would just say every single Disney movie before like the year 1995 or something.
Yeah, this was a tough task.
Yes,
for sure. So
you mentioned Robin Hood. I love the scene where the sheriff of Nottingham, he's going around collecting taxes. He takes somebody's broken leg and he's popping the blades out of the cast.
Jeez.
And the stupid snake when he gets like stuck in that cask and he comes out all drunk.
That's good stuff.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's a good one too.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. All right, Lily, what about you?
Let me see. My 5th one, I have Finding Dory. I love Finding Dory. So it's really weird when people actually like sequels more than the originals. I love Finding Nemo, but when I saw Finding Dory, I think I liked her story just a little bit more because it was really, really sad that she lost her family. And I was like, no, Dory. So I love that it ended super, super happy for everybody. But I thought that it was just so funny. Like, Dory's just a funny character. How she gets caught because she hears Sigourney Weaver's voice and she's trying to find Sigourney Weaver like through the whole thing. Yep. And then what made it even better is the stupid octopus. Like, he is hilarious. The octopus. And then what was the name of the bird that's like carrying them around too? That like, oh my god, it's just so much happens in this movie that I thought it's like super cute. And yeah, I think that's my favorite part of it is that Dory's like, well, I know I have Marlin and Nemo, and they're my family, but then she finds her parents, and I'm like, oh, that was just too cute. I love this movie so much.
It's a good choice.
They're so good. Babo?
My number 5, The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
Feeling that was going to make your list.
I love that movie.
I had it written down, but I changed it.
Okay, that is a great movie.
It
How
is.
could you not like it? You know, this arrogant prince who ends up turning into a llama, and and David Spade is perfect for that role. Like, oh, now I feel bad llama.
Llama face.
Or and then what's his name? John Goodman.
Yeah,
in that as well. But the villain Yzma is great.
Llama.
But Kronk steals the show. I love the scene with the shoulder angel and the devil.
Yep.
And the devil's like, don't listen to that guy. He just wants to lead you down the path of righteousness. I want to lead you down the path that rocks.
Oh my gosh. Because
I
of
love
that.
it because when he's giving his reasons why he should listen to him, at one point he's like, number 2, and he does a handstand on one arm. He's like, look what I can do. And Kronk's like, well, what does that have to do with anything? And the angel's like, no, wait. He's got a point.
Because of that movie, to this day, I still do my own theme music when I'm doing something.
That is a fantastic movie. I love The Emperor's New Groove. Number 5.
I freaking love Cusco because when he's like showing they're doing something else and then he's like, excuse me, this movie is about me. Let's bring it back to me.
Oh God. I got
Yzma's great in that too. Like I said, where she turns into the little cat at the end, and she's like, "My voice. What's wrong with my voice?"
Pull the lever, Kronk. Not that lever.
Wrong lever.
Wrong lever.
Oh God. And it's I had that written down as my honorable mention, and then I changed it because I started thinking of other stuff.
Oh man, see, this is why it's impossible.
It is.
Yeah,
It's very tough.
but yeah, that's my number 5. It is just so freaking enjoyable. I love that movie.
It's very tough. So my number 5 is a movie that came out when, well, the 3 guys, we were young. It was like 1990 or 1989. The Little Mermaid.
Oh.
Mainly because and I always remember my middle sister was getting married, and my older sister and I used to sing the songs all the time, and we went to see the movie, and I loved Sebastian. I loved, Ariel was great. And even now, Charlie and I will play. She's like, I want to play The Little Mermaid. And we try to do the scene. And it's so funny. She gets mad because I'll say, let me ask you something. Do you like lobster? Just as a joke, the part where they're, Eric saving her and takes her back to the castle and everything. And then, Scuttle was awesome. And it's just the soundtrack was so good in that. The sound, that's funny, Bob. You and I talked about soundtracks, and I said individual songs instead of whole soundtracks, but that one was a really good soundtrack. And, Under the Sea and the chef when he tries to attack Sebastian. Me, dear to my heart, love it. Great movie.
I can't say anything bad about The Little Mermaid.
Movie, yes.
No. All right, let's go on to number 4. Lily, what do we have?
My number 4, I have Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
Good one.
Oh, yeah,
I love Lilo and Stitch. I recently introduced this into my little nephew, and by the end of it, we were both in tears. I love this movie so much. I kind of measure a lot of these movies by how much they make me cry or get very emotional. So a lot of mine are very found family, and it's all about family and things like that. So I loved that I was able to share that memory with him. And he absolutely loved that movie. And then for me, it's been one of my favorites because I always tell my best friend that she and I kind of switch roles between being Lilo and Stitch. Sometimes I'm like the crazy best friend, but what's funny is that Lilo is still also crazy. So they kind of find each other, and they're kind of like outcasts in a way of their own, and they find each other. They're both still a little bit crazy, but they become best friends. And that's why I love that one so much, because it reminds me of me and my best friend, especially that scene where she's like, please send me a friend that's like an angel and this and that. And then they cut to the scene where Stitch is like, wah!
That's funny.
And that is just so cute. So that's why that's one of my favorites. And then I just love that they put in this, something else that a lot of kids can probably relate to too, is that they don't have parents, that the older sister is the one that's taking care of Lilo. And how that they made it actually kind of like realistic, how the sister's always like struggling and she's like, oh my gosh, I have this little sister to take care of, and like, but I have to take care of myself, and then all of a sudden I have this weird dog. And there's just a lot going on, and then all the characters are just so good too, like the agent, and then the two aliens that are trying to like catch Stitch. Like, I just love it. And then I go bananas over Stitch Elvis. Like, he's so adorable. So yeah, that's my number 4.
Good pick.
Very cool. Bob, why don't you give it to us?
All right. My number 4, I had to dive into the vaults again for this one. I am going with The Jungle Book.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah,
that's a good
Bare necessities.
Okay, yeah. See, okay. When I was a kid, I was singing the Bare Necessities. Even the song where they're singing just gibberish with him and King Louie. I would sing that part.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there walking around the house going, Abadoodie! I couldn't help it. I mean, it was a lot of fun. And then the characters are really cool in it. Bagheera, is this panther that's trying to take Mowgli back to the man village. And you've got Shere Khan, the villain, great villain, afraid of fire. I can't remember the name of the elephant. Colonel Hardy, I think, was the name of the elephant. And he's like walking by, and she's like, "Did you forget something?" An elephant never forgets. Well, you forgot our son. Oh. And then I love Ka, the snake.
Great villain.
I love it because he's sitting there, go to sleep. And so you got Mowgli falling asleep, and Bagheera, over there sleeping, kind of waking up. He's like, "Oh, just we'll wait till the morning." And Ka's like, "He won't be here in the morning."
Yeah, that is so good.
Yeah, that
very
is
good.
a good movie.
The Jungle Book is
really
my
good
number
soundtrack.
4.
That's a good
Okay.
one.
Oh yeah, it's great. So the Jungle Book is my number 4.
All right, Derico.
You already spoiled it, Josh.
Which one?
It's the Little Mermaid.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you why, though. Just why it had to make my list.
Yeah.
If you go from this movie through the 90s, this is how Disney became its empire. This is how it started with this movie. And you take a look at everything from 1990 to 2000, they ruled the roost. And this is what keeps it all right. So you have to.
You're right. What came out in the 80s? Actually,
my question is, what came out before The Little Mermaid? It was Oliver and Company, wasn't it?
Oliver and Company came out. The Black Cauldron came out in like 84, I think, maybe.
Was
I think the Rescuers Down Under came out in the 80s also.
Yep.
Did you guys hear me? Lady and the Tramp, was that the 80s?
No, that was before.
When was 101 Dalmatians?
That was in the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no, I'm way off.
That's a good one too.
That's a great
one. No, you're right on that one though. But from 89 or 90 until 2000, yeah.
Well, then when 2000 hit, that's when Pixar really sent it through the roof.
Yeah, that's
so. But that period of those 10 years was Disney just hitting homer after homer.
So good. All right, cool. My number 4 is Moana.
Yeah.
Oh, that is such a good movie too.
I absolutely love it. I'm excited for the second one. Have watched that with Charlie so many times. In fact, I remember doing a Facebook post that Derek responded to where I said, I can't get these songs out of my head. We've watched tons of times. And he's like, oh yeah, don't worry. You'll be singing it over and over again. I thought The Rock was great in that movie. What can you say? But you're welcome. Just so good. And then Tamatoa and Charlie and I would play. We still have some of the toys. I'm excited for Moana 2. We're actually going for a birthday party to go see it. Really excited. I'm hoping it actually, kids go into, Derek knows this, and Bob, you would too, probably, I guess, stages. And, we were at the Target the other day and they have the Moana stuff. And I'm like, Charlie, you don't want any of this? No. So I'm hoping that Moana 2 pushes her back to wanting to get some of the newer toys.
Oh God, I know what you mean about stages. I had one that was into cars.
Okay.
Ever. And then I had one, and it's not an animated film, but I had one that was into Enchanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it
the
goes
one with
on
Amy Adams.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You watched. I remember you had said you had seen that movie.
I actually like that movie, but
yeah. But Moana it was so well done. And just, with the grandmother and, being saying when I die, I'll be what did she end up being? A stingray. And just the whole movie was just good. I can't wait. I'm very excited. So that's mine.
The rooster. Hey.
Yeah. Hey. And the pig, Pua, which was good, but very good. Boat snack.
Yeah,
Shiny is one of the best songs ever in any Disney movie.
Oh my gosh, I can't stop singing that like every single time that I remember that song exists. So now I'm gonna be singing it for the next week.
Yep.
So good.
'Cause I'm
And then at
shiny.
the end, like my song.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So that was good. All right. Very good. So now we are on to number 3.
Yep.
All right. Let us start with Derico. What is it?
All right. It's probably not going to be on anybody else's list, but this is my list, so it's on mine. So there that is. But this goes back to another thing that I mentioned even in my honorable mentions. But it became near and dear to my heart at the time because I watched it with my boys a fair amount. But my number 3 is Onward. Yep. Go ahead, Bob.
Is that one of yours?
Yes. That was it.
Really?
No, I'm just teasing.
No, you're not. It's fine.
No, it's not on my list. No, it's not on my list. I hadn't even thought of that one.
I hadn't either. In fact, I don't know. It's animated?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I haven't
Pixar.
I haven't even seen
Yep.
it.
I don't know if I've seen it.
Well,
I
it was
haven't seen
okay. So here was the problem with it. It was supposed to come out literally when things started shutting down for COVID. So it missed a beat with everybody.
Hold on, I'm looking it up. Maybe we did see it.
And then this was the first movie that Disney just said, "Look, we'll just put this out on Disney Plus. We can't do it even in theaters, and nobody even."
I remember when they released that too.
Yeah, and nobody knew when the theaters are going to be open again. So Disney just like as a gift to everybody was like, "Here."
We did. You know what, Derek? We did see it. I did see it. Yep.
It's a really brilliant plot.
It was good. Yeah.
The idea of it's really funny. Just like the idea that like these fairy characters go to work, have house chores and
absolutely
stuff like that. Like unicorns or their raccoons. Like that's funny stuff. It's a really well done movie. It's a great movie about brothers and fathers and that dynamic. It's really well done. I had a great time with it. Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are the main characters, the ones who do the voices. So that's kind of fun. It's a good movie. I would recommend it to anybody if you're up for watching it. So that made it for me. It's really well done.
I got confused with COVID when it all happened. Onward, Luca, and Soul. I think was the other one. Those were the 3. So yes,
they all. That was when we were all kind of hanging out, not doing much.
Right.
Something to do.
I just thought of another great movie that I didn't even think about. Coco.
Yeah, Coco's good.
Coco was a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Lily, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is actually a movie that's already been brought up. This is my second favorite Disney princess, and this is Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
I love this movie to death because when I was a little girl, I used to read a lot. And I always thought that I was kind of a weird little kid because I love to read. I always carried a book around with me. And I think when I saw this movie and saw that Belle read a lot and people used to bully her because she read too much, I was like, oh my gosh, I can relate to her because I'm not weird. Belle does it too. Belle does it too. And like she ends up being like a hero and like she's cool. So this is one of my favorite movies. When they released the live action version, I was so pumped for it. It's not my favorite, so I will probably still keep watching the animated one forever.
Yeah.
But I love it, and I love the entire message of this movie too. That it starts off with like the prince, that you shouldn't look down on people from the first appearance and first glance when you first meet them. Like you have to get to know people. And I love that message gets carried through from when Belle meets the Beast. And as they get to know each other, they get to find out that they have a lot of things in common. And I love that message. It's a really good one that sometimes, even as adults, sometimes you meet people and you're like, oh, I kind of don't like this person. Then you get to know them and you're like, oh my gosh, like this person's so cool. Like I'm so glad I met them. So I think that's a really, really great message, and not to judge people by their first appearries.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That was a big deal of a movie too. Like that was Academy Awards. All the songs were on the radio. That was a huge, huge deal.
Oh yeah, I love this movie, and it was just so. It's just such a pretty movie too, because when they're in the village and then finally when they go back to the Beast Castle, it just switches. Like everything's so bright and sunny, and then they go to the darkness and everything. So I just love how they did that. And then I mean, come on, you can't help but sing "Be Our Guest" forever. That whole sequence is just beautiful. I love that whole thing, and the characters are so funny, like Lumiere and Clocksworth. They're just good characters. So yeah.
They're awesome. Some of my favorites. All right, Bob.
I love that scene where she's trying to treat his wound.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that hurt. And she's like, well, if you're not moving around, it wouldn't hurt so much. If you had to run away, this wouldn't have happened. If you had to fight, I wouldn't have run away.
That's so good. All right, Bob, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is a dad movie, and that is The Incredibles.
Okay, cool.
The reason I say that is a dad movie because you got the dad there, Mr. Incredible, and he's bored with married life and everything. Not because he doesn't like his family, loves his family, but he longs for the old days. When he was out saving people and doing stuff. He's bored with regular life, and you see him where he's working as an insurance agent, and he's like, I did not tell you to go and do this. You should not call so and so, you should not ask for this form. And so I thought that was really cool. I just think it's Mr. Incredible is a fun character. His wife Elastigirl is a fun character. Their kids are fun. The villain, just that he was a fanboy that just got blown off, and he turns around and tries to make himself super Syndrome. He's great. Just some of his lines are great in there. Elastigirl, you married Elastigirl? It got busy. What's his name? Frozone. He's great. Yeah. Where's my super suit?
That's good.
So yeah, I love that movie. The Incredibles is just a lot of fun. I love how all the characters had different powers, and you got to see them all displayed really well. So that was really cool. And then when you see them towards the end of the film working together as a unit, I thought that was really cool. The Incredibles, that's my number 3. That is a fun movie.
Okay, cool. So guys, my top 3 are my top 3 because I can watch these over and over and over again. I've watched them with Charlie. Holds really special meanings for me. Number 3 for me is Toy Story 2. Absolutely love Toy Story 2. Just love how, Buzz is trying to find, Woody, and we get an introduction of Jesse, and we have Bullseye, and we have the Kelsey Grammer's character in it. I can't think of it. Oh my God. The Prospector.
The old prospectors.
Prospector, and you hear Kelsey Grammer, the prodigal son has returned. And, really, and it's funny, the only part I don't like is when Jesse's telling her story when Emily left her. And that's like, to me, I can't even watch. I'm like, oh no, I can't watch. It's so bad. But like the ending is awesome, and then you get one of the funniest parts is there's a couple, but where Zurb tells Buzz, "I am your father, Dad."
Yes.
And then, oh God, what's the other part that I love with? I was just going to say it, and now I completely. Oh, when they're in the toy store, and you have tour guide Barbie, and she's like, "Put your hands and feet, keep them all in the vehicle." And Mr. Potato Head is just like in heaven. He's just like smiling and everything. I love that movie. Love, love, love. Can watch it any day. It's incredible. Anyway, that's my number 3. All right, let's go. Who do I want to go to? Let's go to Lily. Lily, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is a movie that Josh said that we all forgot about. I did not forget about this movie. My number 2 is Coco.
Okay, great.
Yes. My number 2 is Coco. This is probably one of the only newer movies that I actually included on here, because I think what happened with me is that I don't have kids, and when all these later movies came out, I didn't watch them. I was already kind of like in my adulthood. So I don't have the same memories that I have with all the older ones. But this one in particular, I saw this one with my entire family, and this was probably the first time that I've seen my entire family cry after a movie. Like, it really connected with everybody. Obviously, my parents are from Mexico. I am Mexican American, so this is part of my culture, and they just represented it so beautifully, and I love all of the music. The music is fantastic. The way that it looks is amazing. And then obviously, again, the message is incredible here as well, that you never forget your loved ones. And you always have to keep remembering them and not forget them, keep their memory alive. And I love that whole aspect of it. And again, it's really sad that we get to see from the beginning, like Mama Coco, and by the end of it, she's no longer there. But she's part of this altar, and they're going to keep her memory alive. And I also love it because I know a lot of probably Hispanic kids can relate to this too, is that sometimes you have big dreams for yourself, and it's not necessarily what your parents want you to do. And they try to steer you in a different direction. And that's what kind of happened in this movie too, that he wanted to be a musician. The parents are like, no, you're going to continue being like, making shoes. That's what we do. That's our whole thing. And by the end of it, they accept it. They accept that that's who he is. It's in his blood. And I love that message too. Sometimes parents just let us do what we want. sometimes we know what we want to do, and we know what we want to be successful with. But yeah, I love that whole message with that whole movie. It was so good.
That's awesome. All right, Derico, what do you like?
Lily snagged my number 2, but I'll just go ahead and call it out. It's Aladdin.
Okay. No, we can talk about it. That movie is so good. I freaking love Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladdin is, out of the whole strand of stuff that they did in the 90s, like I was talking about, this is maybe their best work, arguably. Robin Williams is a genius as the genie. He may be my favorite Disney character of all time. He is definitely my wife's favorite character of all time, hands down. To this day, there are still open mic festivals in San Francisco where stand-up comics who will come from all over the place and you can catch him at all the different bars and clubs on certain streets just to honor him. So as a Bay Area native, that means a lot, as he was. And plus the story of Aladdin is fantastic. You get caught up in that. The Cave of Wonders looked awesome to me. I wanted to build a fortress that looked just like that.
That looked cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It looked like the Thundercats kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
It did.
And then you absolutely cannot beat opening the movie with Arabian Nights. That is amazing. Yeah.
It's a fun, funny, well done movie that hits all the right notes. It's one of my favorites still to this day. So that's my number 2.
Nice. All right, Bobo.
All right, my number 2, I was really close to putting it at my number 1. I mean, really, really close.
Okay.
This is one of my all-time favorite movies. Just period. I mean, it wouldn't make like my top 10 list, but it's definitely one of my all-time favorite movies. And that is The Lion King.
Oh,
Love The Lion King. Yeah. And you mentioned, Derek, about Aladdin. And we've already talked about Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid. So you had Little Mermaid, you had Beauty and the Beast, you had Aladdin, and they just kept getting better. And it was like, okay, so where did they go from here? And then they released The Lion King. And I remember seeing that in the theaters. I was actually on a date with that movie. So
nice.
Yeah. 14 years, or no, was I 14? No, I was 13 years old on a date. And
really?
Yeah, so took her to The Lion King. Yep. So I hit a home run with that one. But anyway, it was a good movie. I love this idea of, you know, this circle of life and kind of maturing into the person that you're going to be and taking responsibility and growing into that role that you're born into and destined to be. The characters are fun. The music is a blast. Hakuna Matata, that is a great song. I mean, I was singing that, you know, even as a teenager. I loved Hakuna Matata.
True, in high school, you'd go around the hall and say Hakuna Matata.
And then I named one of my pets, one of my cats. His name was Timon. I named him after.
Right.
I named him Timon because he used to stand up and he would go like this, and he looked like the meerkat.
That cat liked me.
Cute.
Yeah, he was cool. So yeah, I named one of my pets after one of the characters. Scar is a great villain.
Yeah,
really, really good.
Yeah.
The hyenas, they're fun.
Scar's song. Oh my god.
Oh, Be Prepared. Oh,
yes.
That's a great song. And what's his name? Jeremy Irons is great singing it.
Okay.
You've got what's it called? Matthew Broderick does the voice of Simba.
Yeah,
you know, he's great. But the highlight is Mufasa and James Earl Jones doing the voice of Mufasa. You know, and they tell that joke in there that you get chills every time you say Mufasa, and they're like, "Ooh, do it again."
Mufasa.
Yeah, they're like, "Do it again." But
that
he
voice.
is fantastic in that role. So The Lion King, I cannot say anything bad about that movie from start to finish. That is a fantastic film. Rafiki is really cool. I love the scene where he starts going all kung fu on so that's really cool. But yeah, the Lion King, that's my number 2, and like I said, I was really close to putting it in my number 1, but I do have one that I like more.
Okay.
I love that movie too.
I had to make somebody's list. Well done.
It's true. My number 2 is Toy Story. It's the one that started it for Pixar. You know, I saw it when it first came out, obviously, but really my love for it has been now. Charlie and I, again, watch it, and it still holds up after all these years. And you really feel, you know, for the characters. And it's just so funny here, seeing Buzz and Woody fighting, and then you've got Sid, who's this crazy guy who, destroys all the toys, and then at the end, he starts repeating the stuff to Sid and freaks Sid out. Just such a good movie.
So
And
play nice.
yes, exactly. And you have you think of all the characters. You've got what do you call it? Tom Hanks. You've got Tim Allen. You've got Don Rickles playing Mr. Potato Head. Only age 3 and up. Only 3 and up. You can't play with me. And then John Ratzenberger as Ham, and then what's his name from Princess Bride playing T-Rex or Rex. Inconceivable. Which, by the way, I got my kid to start watching Princess Bride. She loves it. So that's a cool thing. But yeah, the original Toy Story is one, again, I can watch over and over again. And the Sergeant, the one who's played in so many movies, Saving Silverman and the all the other ones. So it was, we have a man down. Just love it. All right, so here we go, guys. Our number 1. Let us start with, I think we're going to start with Bobo. I want to know what your number 1 is.
My number 1, this is my favorite movie, or favorite Disney movie. I love everything about this movie. I think it's a good story. It's well told. It's got a couple of memorable songs in it. It's got some good action in it too. And probably my favorite side character, and that is Mulan. I love
Mulan.
That's why you did that with Mushu before. That makes sense now.
Dishonor on your whole family. Make a note of this. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
Yeah, that's good.
You got the great Eddie Murphy playing Mushu, Ming Na Wen as Mulan, Donny Osmond as Li Shang. Heck, you even have George Takei in there as the first ancestor. So it's got a cool cast. But I just love the story. You got this daughter who just really wants to protect her father because she knows if he goes off to war, he's going to end up being killed, but she has to pretend to be a man in order to do this. But, it's not like the live action version where she had better chi than everybody else. And as a result, she was the bestest ever. She had to actually learn how to fight. She becomes a competent soldier, but it's not because she's the best at everything. Heck, even during the song, I'll Make a Man Out of You, and you see them all training, she uses her intellect in order to begin to earn respect. But you see, she's not dominating like at every single thing. Certain of the other soldiers are better at one specific thing than them. But you see her become a competent soldier. They what's it called? They learn to respect her. The villain, I think, is cool. Like I said, Mushu, he's great. I love Mushu. I love the scene where all the dudes jump into the lake with her, and they're like, or Mushu's like, oh my God, they're going to see something. They're going to figure her out. And so he goes up and bites that one guy on the butt to get them all running out. And then as you see him walking out, he's sitting there brushing his teeth. So yeah, he's great. Mulan, that's my favorite.
That's awesome.
That's probably one of the reasons why I didn't watch the live action one, because I was like, no Mushu, no money. No money out of me.
How do you take Mushu out of it? Because you want to be realistic, but you bring in some shape-shifting witch and you take out Mulan. I mean, Mushu. How do you do that? Mushu. I mean,
most lovable part of the movie.
That would be like,
yes, exactly.
That would be like making Aladdin and not having Iago talk. Oh wait, they did that too. So.
Yeah, they did that too. Oh.
All right, Derico, what's your number 1?
All right, so since Josh threw kind of a twist in here about Mary Poppins and how there was some animation in that.
I think I know which one it is.
Yeah, you probably do. My number one is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, that's it.
Phenomenal. I forgot all about that.
Oh my god!
It's because Derek asked me the same question that you did, Josh, about whether it was animated or not, and that was the first movie that came to my mind. But I didn't want to guess it because I didn't want to ruin the surprise.
I would say that's
I knew the minute Bob texted me, like, I think I know what you're doing, and like you probably do, but I'll save it.
Well,
so
something more animated than Mary Poppins, I think.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
The whole point of the movie is about cartoon lives, so that's what makes it great. Is the fact that they mix in with the humans, and to this day, it is a brilliantly creative plot, and the movie holds up still.
Christopher Lloyd and
what's the judge?
Yeah.
Bring me some dip.
Yeah. God, I have not seen that movie in years.
Watch it again, dude.
I need to, and I remember.
Yeah, it's still to this day my like.
That was awesome.
And I looked at all the Disney movies for this, right? Like, I did serious research, and this is still number one. What's Bob laughing?
Okay, so I just remembered the scene where he's hired to take the pictures of Jessica and Marvin Acme.
Patty cake.
And yes, you hear them going, patty cake, patty cake. And she's sitting there going, oh. And he's like, oh my God. I don't believe this. And then next thing you know, you see Roger and he's like, patty cake. And he's looking at the pictures and they're actually playing patty cake.
That is awesome. By the way, this is random. Talk about live and animated. Was Dick Tracy a Disney movie?
Was it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it was.
Wasn't it Warner Brother?
Oh, maybe, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Let me see.
Yeah, okay. Great.
But Roger Rabbit, another good thing about that is that they united Disney characters with Warner Brothers characters, because you had the Looney Tunes and like that one scene where what is his name? Bob Hopkins,
right?
Hopkins.
No, Haskins. Yeah. Was it Haskins?
Yeah. Haskins. Okay, so where he's falling, and Mickey and Bugs are there. They're like, you shouldn't jump without a parachute. It's dead. And so he's like, you guys got a spare? And Bugs, I don't think you want it. And he gives him a spare tire.
It's because the whole movie is so funny. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's so creative.
I saw it when I was really, really little, and it scared me to death, the scenes at the end where he's like doing all the cartoons with the dip. And when he revealed like his face, that freaked me out for years as a little kid. But
I'm trying to see when it came out.
I watched it again and I was like, this is such a brilliant freaking movie. I love this movie.
Wow, it came out when you were 7 years old, guys.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Wow, 88.
And it was awesome then, and it is awesome now.
It's
and Jessica Rabbit. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that.
So iconic.
That article that came out that movie cannot be done now because of Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, I'm sure.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, you've got a scene where I'll call him Eddie Valiant, the detective. I know I'm messing up the actor's last name, but anyway, where her bosom's turning around bumping into him, and he's like, he's like, what a woman. Pants her down,
Yeah.
When his girlfriend walks in and she's like, what are you doing? She says, why did she have her arms around you? Well, she's probably looking for a place to stick a knife. She's like, I caught you with your pants down.
That can't be made now.
No, and I love how I think it's like somebody else. It's like, that's Roger's wife or something, and they're like, yeah, what a lucky girl.
That was Betty Boop. Betty Boop said that.
Oh my God.
Did you guys see it in the theater?
What a lucky girl.
Yeah,
I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
All right.
You remember when because at the beginning of the movie they had that little short with Roger and Baby Herman? They ended up going on and making a few shorts with Roger Rabbit and Baby Herman that appeared on other Disney films because of that movie.
It's
crazy. I gotta watch that again.
That's a good one. Yeah, I gotta go
watch
that
it.
one now.
It's worth it.
So
It's still
long.
worth it.
All right, Lily, what's your number one?
My number one, it already made a lot of your lists.
Okay.
It's The Little Mermaid. That's my
Okay.
number one.
Can't go wrong with that one.
Beautiful.
You cannot go wrong with that one. I'm pretty much that I went through this entire VHS that they had to buy me a different one, a brand new one. This is probably it's my earliest memory of seeing one of the Disney princess movies. And of course, it was my favorite. I loved Ariel. Everything was so colorful. It was super funny. Sebastian and Flounder are just so adorable. And I just love everything about it. It's probably one of the reasons why I have red hair. It's because of Ariel. I love her. But yeah, no, that's my go-to for everything. I was very upset when they did the live action, and I don't count that one ever as existing because it was terrible. They could have done something really great, and probably for me and people who were my age that saw The Little Mermaid, that was supposed to be made for us, and they completely screwed it up. But yeah,
I refuse to watch the live action simply because of what they did to Eric.
It's bad. It's bad all the way around. Like, not even just talking about Ariel, that she doesn't look like Ariel. It's just a bad movie. I gave it a chance and I figured like maybe I'll like it for what it is. No, it's just bad all around. It's not a good movie. But yeah, no, this movie is fantastic. Like, it kicked off the Disney Renaissance, and that's probably my favorite all-time. Like, all the movies that I will go back and watch frequently all come from that era. They remind me, all of them, from my childhood. Like Mulan, and then you have Tarzan, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. You have Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, The Little Mermaid. Like, all of those movies are probably some of the best Disney movies.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. Didn't Hercules come out during the 90s also?
Yes, Hercules too. That was one of my favorites too. I was gonna put it on the list, but I already had like way too many of those. It's basically like just the Disney Renaissance. Like,
this is how the empire was built, folks. This is it.
Yeah, and it's just an awesome movie. Like, it looks great. The soundtrack is amazing. Like, you can go through that whole thing and sing every single one of the songs. It's just recognizable everywhere. Like, everybody knows who Ariel is. And then the story is just really cute too.
Love it.
I gotta say though, shout out to Ursula. She's
yes, she was such a great freaking villain. Like, she was so scary.
Unfortunate soul.
Yep.
Yes, like every single movie. I mean, every single song in this was just incredible, and I just love her story.
The power of body language.
Yeah, just the way she says it. Well, if I don't have my voice, how am I supposed to? Well, you got your looks.
Yeah. Yes, that song is crazy. Like, I didn't understand it at the time, but I go back and watch it now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Ursula was speaking so much truth that I didn't even know. Yeah. Like, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I love that movie, and Eric is one of my favorite princes from all the Disney princesses. Like, I thought he was so cute when I was little. I was like, oh my gosh, I love him. But yeah, that's my favorite. I can watch that over and over and over again, never get tired of it. Like I said, I messed up like the VHS. But yeah, all-time favorite.
That's awesome. So my number one is something that Lily talks about a lot on X. It's The Acolyte. No.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
No, my number one is something that Derek mentioned. I kept my mouth shut because I wanted it, I wanted to hear what he said. My number one, hands down, Aladdin. Absolutely love Aladdin. My all-time favorite Disney movie. It's all about Robin Williams. Don't talk to me about that crap that Will Smith did. Robin Williams is 10,000 years gives me such a crick in the neck. Can I call you Al or Din? How about Lottie? Here, boy. Just great. And the whole Prince Ali. And let's not forget Bobby's favorite parrot.
Oh, yeah.
Iago.
Let's see it. Let's hear it.
Shut up!
There we go.
I freaking love Iago. He's so
Not
funny.
great. I mean, what a cast. It was just so
What's funny is
good.
that's not even Iago's voice in that little clip.
No.
Oh,
That's the judge.
That's funny.
But that's your parrot, Josh.
That's my parrot.
And
But-
Jafar was such a great villain.
Jafar's
Like
great.
live action just messed up this entire movie.
Oh, I
Oh,
know.
my
Oh,
gosh.
I can't
You know
even.
what disappointed me with the live action is I wanted to hear Iago talk. I just kept waiting for him to
I know.
look at Jafar and say, maybe you could be the chump husband. That's what I kept waiting for him to say.
They
Or
messed
where
up.
he was feeding the Sultan the crackers. Here, you want a cracker? Here, have a bunch of crackers.
Well, and then they have like the genie falling in love with a girl. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's so
Ridiculous.
stupid. And then Jasmine had her like Aladdin didn't even save Jasmine. That's so stupid. I was so mad. Oh, her like dumb song. I was like, why does this song exist? I hate this movie so much.
I mean,
Oh, I
Lily,
was ticked at it because the whole point of Aladdin was it was a rags to riches story, and that this street rat could end up becoming the next, or was it put in a position where he could become the next sultan. And it wasn't just because he fell in love with Jasmine. She fell in love with him, but it was his heart. It was his actions, because he earned the respect of the sultan as well. That the sultan was willing to change the law so she could marry Aladdin. He saw Aladdin as being somebody worthy. And by them changing it the way they did, he just ends up as Jasmine's husband.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
stupid
I
because
miss-
strong, independent woman don't need no man.
and that's why I feel
Stupid.
Lily will kill me here, but I feel the live action Little Mermaid was better than the live action Aladdin.
I think I hate them both equally.
That's nice.
Josh, I never saw it, but I refuse to see it because of what they did to Eric. The fact
But
that
where do you
that
where does the-
they changed his character the way they did, I was like, no, I can't watch it.
where do you rank the live action Lion King then? Do you care for that one or no?
Okay, the live action Lion King, I think it's okay, but the biggest issue I've got with the live action Lion King is that you don't see any emotion on the animals'
No, it's
faces.
weird.
No, you
And
don't.
because of that, it loses everything.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of doing the animation, so you can get the expressions out of these characters. So yeah, I couldn't really get into it. I'm not saying it's terrible, but I don't think it was worth making $1.5 billion. Let's put it that way, or 1.6, whatever it was that it made.
I think the only live action movie that I actually love and I still continue to watch is the Cinderella one. I think they actually changed it significantly to where it's not just frame by frame copying the original movie. They actually fleshed out more of Cinderella's character and even the prince. Like in the cartoon, the prince was you just see him at the end where like, oh yay, they're gonna get married, whatever. But no, then you get to see that like the prince actually wants to marry somebody for love, and you get to see all the things that Cinderella goes through with her stepmom and how the story begins with her mom and her dad. Like I actually really love that movie. Lily James did such a great job, and just all of the way that it looks. Her dress was probably the best one. Like every single live action character, they've messed up the princess. They do not look anything better than the cartoon or similar. They all look terrible. But this one made it probably better than the cartoon. And I just love that message too, that you just have to be kind to everybody and you have to be brave sometimes. And yeah, that's probably the only one. Everything else, I put it in the same category. I hate it all. It's so bad.
I like.
It's because that's when I grew up. I grew up during the Disney Renaissance. So to me, comparing all the cartoons that I grew up loving to the live action, it's all trash. I'm sorry. It's all trash to me.
You know what Cinderella I liked? It's not a remake of them, but it's kind of an adaptation of it. And that was Ever After, the one with Drew Barrymore.
Yes, yeah.
I like
that
that
one.
one.
People like that one.
That one's a beautiful movie too. I love it.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. I like that one.
But yeah, I mean, Aladdin, there's nothing better in my opinion. God, do I miss Robin Williams. He was so good. Really made that movie. And yeah, it just I can watch it again and again. All right. So very good, guys. Just really, I think, a cool topic. What else was I to say? Oh, so before we finish, let's just let you guys know a little secret for next week. As you know, Lily is part of a podcast called Dames and Dorks, and Dad's Turn to Talk was actually on their show about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And really had an amazing time with them. We're on there for about 2 hours at least.
It was about 2.5 hours.
And you guys are that episode is still our highest watched one.
That's
for
amazing.
this year. Yeah.
That's
I don't know why, because it's us.
It's good. It was a really great episode. But yeah, you guys are the highest rated episode that we have.
That is so funny. And
At least
so
we did something right.
I was about to say the same thing.
I know, exactly. And because they were so nice to have us on, we have extended an invite to them, and they're going to come on next Wednesday. And we're going to talk about Star Wars and some other topics. We'll figure it out. We'll save that for next week. So we're really looking forward to that. We're still seeing how many of them are going to be on, but most of them will be on. And yeah, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and do a little social media. Lily, where can we find you?
You can find me on X at 300 Mirrors, and then I do have a link on there. You can find my Instagram. I am on Criticless as well. But yeah, I spend most of my time on X, just kind of catching up on everything that's going on. And then I also have another podcast that I'm on Mondays called Toxic Femininity, and the channel is Midnight's Edge. And
that's a good show.
Yeah, that show's really good too. So make sure you catch that one also. And like Josh said, we are going to be here next week. So we are super excited to be here with you guys this time. So yeah, I know everybody was super excited. As soon as I told them, like everyone was like, yes, what time? What time are we going to be there? So yeah, it's going to be super fun next week.
Nice.
Yeah, just give them a warning that it's us. We're a little different.
Yeah,
one of us should apologize up front right now.
Yes.
Just get it out of the way.
Yeah, and just tell them we're still doing our fantasy, so we'll need like 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and it'll be a celebration of me winning again.
Gosh, shut up.
No such thing. Stay out of it.
Come on, do the little dance. Here's a new one. Ready? Anyway, all right, Bob, where can we find you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel. Easiest way to find me is Bob Loves Movies, all one word. I'm also on X and Criticless, and on my YouTube channel, I did hit 900 subscribers, so I'm getting closer to that 1,000 mark, and I've already hit the watch hours. So once I hit that 1,000, I can hopefully monetize the channel.
Oh, that's awesome! Congratulations
for you.
Thanks. Yeah, it's getting there.
We'll be monetizing our channel in about 35 years. So
look at there. As Derek would always say, Rome was not built in a day, right?
No, for us it was built in 1,000 years. Exactly. Anyway, Derek, where can we find you?
Well, speaking of old ass Merlin from Sword in the Stone, that's exactly where my old ass will be, on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Nice. And you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on TikTok. I'm a realtor here in Southern California. I am the family man of the Valley. And yeah, looking to buy or sell your house, please let me know. All right. Well, guys, Lily, thank you from the bottom of our hearts of coming on.
Well done.
Disney, but you are awesome. You are welcome all the time. And Bob and Derek, thank you. And everybody have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Good night, buddy.